Okay. Well, welcome to tonight's live hangout for Team Neos. And my name is Nicole Whitlock. And tonight I get the honor and the pleasure of interviewing the FBA Ninja. Now, you're going to learn a little bit about her tonight. You're going to learn about her time with DSD and what she's done in the e-commerce industry. And let me just tell you, I think she's amazing. She's done a lot of awesome stuff. And the FBA Ninja is Nikki Witherspoon. And so, Nikki, if you want to come on out.
Can you see me?
I can see you. And I just want you to know that this is a huge privilege and honor for me to be able to interview you tonight. I think you are totally awesome. All of the things that you do in this industry, the things you've done to support the team, to support the business, the golden nuggets that you're going to share with us. So hopefully tonight in this interview, I'll be able to ask you some questions that'll be a blessing to others and help them in on their journey in the e-commerce world. So are you ready to get started?
Let's rock it.
Let's rock it. Okay. So when did you start and when did you start DSD and how did you learn about it?
So I actually found out about DSD. It was around November 2013. I was sitting at my desk. I worked overseas in Iraq, and one of my friends from high school posted a screenshot of her PayPal. On eBay, when you get paid, you get that little, cha-ching, and then with that comes, hey, from PayPal, you got some money in your account. And she
Yes.
kept posting these on her Facebook account. And I'm sitting there like, okay, wait a minute. I've used PayPal probably since PayPal came out, okay? And I have always paid out. I've never had money coming in.
Yeah.
So, with that, I reached out to her and I was like, hey, what's going on? All right, because you have money coming in, I have money coming out. I need to reverse this process. And, she sent me of course, that famous video that we've all seen about the 7-minute video. And, I watched it, and honestly, I didn't even need to finish the rest of the video. I was hooked. Like the second that he said, hey, you could drop ship from Amazon onto eBay, I was like, what? How did I never think about that before? I had never heard of this before. And if anything, I was more upset that I didn't hear about it like a long time ago. Okay. So yeah, I started, shame on me. Okay. Shame on me. Like I said, I heard about the business in November 2013. I didn't sign up until December 2013. Okay. So shame on me. I could have been started a whole month sooner, but I didn't. But yeah, it is what it is.
It is. No, that is awesome. Now, prior to DSD, what were you doing? What did you do? How were you making money? How did you, get that money in the bank or take care of bills? What were you doing?
Oh, all right. So let me, it's hard to explain this. All right. So I was overseas in Iraq. My husband was actually overseas in Iraq as well. I worked with the military. I worked with Department of Defense. So, the U.S. Embassy, all that stuff. But, I was an accountant. I'm an accountant by trade. I went to school to be an accountant. I've messed with numbers and dollars all my life. I've never had your traditional, I hate to say traditional, but I've never had your sales job, at a restaurant, at a store, grocery store, whatever. I've never done any of that stuff. I literally went straight from high school into working at ExxonMobil of all places, in the office. So I've been an accountant in the accounting field for my entire career until DSD. So the accounting field somehow or another ended my tail in Iraq of all places. I have no idea how that happened.
Wow.
So, I'm in Houston, so I'm here with KBR and everything, and that's exactly how I got over there in the first place. And I just never left. You get used to a certain type of paycheck, and it's hard to break out of that. So I was the money lady. Everybody knew me as the money lady over in Iraq, just in a different form.
And so you were in Iraq prior to starting DSD and in the military and probably in not so, I guess, not you may have liked your job, but it probably wasn't ideal for you. So what made you decide to go ahead and, jump into DSD?
So prior to joining DSD, my husband and I had been looking for a way out. Anybody out there who've ever had a contracting job overseas, because by this time, so many US citizens and even people from other countries have done tours in Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, Middle East, all over the place. And everyone can tell you, once you get into that lifestyle, it is hard to leave because you've taken yourself out of your home environment and you just get comfortable someplace else. And it's hard to realize that somebody can get comfortable in Baghdad of all places.
Wow. I don't know. Not me.
I was. I honestly was. And I mean, that it became home. You know, the people that I was around became family, everything like that. But we needed a way out. I had been married for 2-3 years already, and I really had no time with my husband. We got engaged in Iraq. We met in Iraq, got engaged in Iraq, came home, got married, went back to Iraq. Okay.
Wow.
So we really didn't know each other at home like most couples would. So we were constantly, hey, we need to get home. We need to get home. We had built a brand new house. You know, we've got dogs, we've got family, and we just needed to get home. But we couldn't figure out how in the world do you leave a 6-figure job, a very high-paying 6-figure job, to come home to nothing. And then DSD came along, and it was just like that light at the end of that horrible tunnel that we were in, you know. And I was like, I totally see a way out of this. It was so amazing. I came home January 2014. I was supposed to go back February. I was supposed to go back March. I was supposed to go back April. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm done. We're making a good enough lifestyle with DSD, and it just keeps growing. We don't have to go back anymore. My husband came home actually in May of 2014, and we just never returned.
That is awesome. So that's a great segue into my next question, which was, tell me about your first 3 months in DSD. You said you started in December of 2013, but you never went back to Iraq after April, I think you said 2014. So tell me about those first 3 months in DSD.
Woo, they were crazy. Okay. I had no experience. I had no experience selling anything. The most I had ever sold, I tell people all the time, was maybe some Girl Scout cookies. And I think I sold some chocolate bars from my JROTC in high school. Other than that, I've never sold a thing to anybody. I bought one thing on eBay back in 2008, and that was the extent of my eBay account. Okay, nothing else. So starting off, I was brand new to the entire dropshipping world, never heard of it, didn't know what to do. But you know what? I was on a mission. I saw the potential. And, I jumped into it. I started listing. I made my first sale. I think it was December 28th.
Now, that was going to be my next question. When was your first sale? But anyway, keep going. That's all right. Go ahead. That was great.
I'll take it back.
That's okay.
I made my first sale. And, once I got that first cha-ching, I was like, oh, yeah. So we listed some more, filled up the entire account. I had the normal, I guess, limit that we normally get, 100 items, 5,000 per month. And once I filled that up, I called eBay, got an increase, listed some more, got my sister involved, got my mom involved, got other people involved. And, the sales just started coming. And it was just too easy of a process. Don't get me wrong, it's work. It's work. Okay. Yeah. You have to do work. The money just doesn't come to you. You have to do work to have the money come to you. Okay. But, we did the research. We did the work to make the entries. We did the customer service. We flipped it around, and we just kept the process up. We had returns. We had goofy customers. We all are going to get that. It's not a big deal. You just deal with it, and you keep it moving. We made Power Seller by April, and that's the reason why I was like, not going back.
There you go. I don't blame you. That is nice. Wow. That is good. So you said your first sale was in December, but you started in December. So how long did it take you? Was it a couple days, a couple weeks?
It actually took for about 48 hours. I got my first sale in 48 hours. But you know what? I will tell you this. Those first sales are tricky. And not tricky to get. They're kind of tricky when you're telling other people when you got it. Okay, because sometimes people get a first sale in an hour. Some people get it in 2 days, 2 weeks, 1 day, whatever. But it doesn't matter about that. that first sale if you don't continue the process and push on to your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth sale. Okay.
Now, how long did it take you to get that second sale?
Now there you go. There you go. Right there. My second sale took me like another week. Okay. All right. So yeah, I hit gold on my first sale in 48 hours, but then I sat back twiddling my thumbs like, I'm not getting anything here, you know, and that's the part that we need to train ourselves to push through. That's the part where, you know, our support comes into play. That's the part where the Facebook groups come into play. Our NEOS group comes into play. The DSD groups come into play because those people have been through it. You know, we've all been through it, you know, and that's what that motivation comes into play for. So that when you're a new person starting out, had I allowed that 7-day window, as a matter of fact, I think it was like closer to 8 or 9 days. If I had let that week bring me down, then I wouldn't be where I am now. You know, we probably would have been back in Iraq. But like I said, we don't attack things. We don't join things. We don't do anything without following all the way through. I mean, we don't like to waste our time. Being overseas in that environment, we've learned that time is precious and we're not going to waste it. So if we are going to do something, we're going to do it to our, you know, best potential, the full potential that we can apply to it. So that 7 days, all it was to me was a learning experience. And as a matter of fact, I upgraded to elite in that 7 days, only had one sale. Okay. But I knew the process worked. You know, I knew the process worked. During that 7 days in the groups, I saw other people, you know, continuing to make sales. So I knew mine was coming.
Okay. All right. That's good. Staying motivated. So that first year when you made the transition back home. So what would you say in that first year was your average number of hours you spent in the business every single week? If you were to average out that first year, I'm sure there was a spike and a little bit of a drop in the spike, but what would you say on average you spent in a week running your business in the first year?
In our first year, now, mind you, when we came home, we attacked it like a business 100%, and we weren't working anywhere else. Okay. So we actually put in I would at the very least say about close to 80 to 100 hours a week. And I'm not exaggerating here, but the thing was, it's not work. I mean, it's work. Yeah, you have to, you know, use your fingers, stuff like that, but it's fun. It's fun, you know, so there's no set number of hours. So mind you, I may have done 10 hours in a week. In a day. I may have even done 12 hours in a day. But guess what? I was surfing on the internet. That's work. You know, that's work. In DSD, that is work. That's your work.
Is work. Doing research
on the internet. Okay.
Yes.
Going on Facebook, interacting with your business partners, going on to, you know, Amazon, Walmart, eBay, whatever. That's work. That's your business. You know, going out shopping, that's our business. So that's what I say, you know, the 100 hours, that seems kind of rough, but it's really not when you think about what is truly considered part of our business. So we did put in the work. We put in the hours. And like I said, because we made sure that we did not have to return to a 9-to-5. We made sure that we were never going to have to sit behind somebody else's desk. I'll sit behind my desk all day. I'm just not going to sit behind somebody else's desk. Okay?
I understand.
That's exactly what we did. And we made it work. And this position that I'm in right now, this is not a desk chair. This is my bed. Okay. I work on my bed.
Nice.
Or nothing. But yeah, that's what we did. And honestly, we've stayed consistent. We stayed consistent from the first of the year all the way to the end of the year. There's been some times where we've actually put in more hours. And I'll be honest with you, just like the next person, I've reached points in my career, my DSD career, my e-commerce career, where I've had lows. You know, like there was a period of time where I got like, I don't know what it was. It was just like the negative customer complaint it's like they come all at once, you know? And that brings you down a little bit. And it's just like, you know, you kind of have to, I drug myself through it. But you know what? One thing that I will say about myself and my family, my husband, and everybody is we don't allow that to keep us down too long, you know? So it may have gotten to us. I'm human, you know, and it got to me. But at the same time, I was like, wait a minute, dig yourself out of this hole. It is not that serious. Okay. Back up. Start over, or not necessarily start over, back up, see what happened, and just attack it from another angle. And that's exactly what we did. And, you know, I was down maybe 2 or 3 days, I guess. To me, that was a down part. But if you're used to working the business nonstop every day, all day, then that is a little bit of a downer. And, hey, we're all going to go through ups and downs. It's how you get through it. It's how you jump over those hurdles or bust through those hurdles that, makes you better at the end of the day.
So let me ask you a different question, same subject, different take. So from December of 2013 till about April, before you came home, how many hours a week while you were still commuting back and forth to Iraq, while you were still working a full-time job accounting, how many hours a week were you averaging just to get enough momentum to be able to come home in April? What were your average hours, working part-time or full-time?
I was home. I came home. I came home on vacation in January. I never went back.
Never went back.
I never went back. I was supposed to.
You're not getting on the plane.
I did do a little bit from home, so I did work for the company a little bit longer from home. But I was able to do 4 or 5 hours for them a day and be done with it. And but I was still able to devote the 8, 10, 12 hours to my business. From the beginning on through. And that's why I never ended up going back, because our income with DSD surpassed whatever it was that we were making before. So I replaced my income first. And then when we got to the point to replace my husband's income is when he came home. So I was good with my income by April. And that was just on eBay, guys. That was just eBay. That wasn't even talking about Amazon before, So I got to a good point with eBay off the bat, And my husband, we got with him because we started doing FBA full force, and that took about 2 months, and he was able to come home.
Okay, so if you're not listening, if you did not hear her correctly, she replaced her 6-figure income by April of 2014 and came home. Her husband also made a 6-figure income in Iraq, and he came home afterwards. So they replaced 2 6-figure incomes, if you're paying attention, with this business. So if you are interested in learning more or learning how to do what she does or learning about DSD, click the link below, because this is a great opportunity. Your experience and your results may vary from hers because it is about time investment. So, but again, this is what she did. December to April, replaced a 6-figure income, and then a couple months after that, replaced a second 6-figure income. Click the link below to learn more and to get started. All right, so my next question has to do with, in your first year, what was your most profitable month?
My most profitable month, you know what? It was December.
December 13 or December 14?
December 14.
Okay.
And that was full force, with eBay and Amazon. We were well over 100,000 in that particular month worth of sales. And it was nuts. It was nuts. Stuff was moving out just left and right. And what was so great about it is the following month, January 2015, was right under December, So, it was really, really great. So, once you get into the business, you'll know what quarter 4 is. And fourth quarter is basically, the holiday rush. And because I waited November, I didn't sign up until December. I didn't get the full force of the quarter 4 in 2013. I kind of only got the tail end of it. But in 2013. Yeah. So in 2014, I actually got the full blown quarter 4. And that was just, above and beyond, heads, tails, everything. It was nuts.
I completely understand. Now, what was your biggest breakthrough on eBay? We'll get to Amazon, but what was your biggest breakthrough on eBay?
The biggest breakthrough on eBay was actually sitting back and realizing that it's okay to think outside of the box, and do things a little bit out of the ordinary. What actually got us to Power Seller was not solely dropshipping. Okay, your parish popping. It wasn't solely drop shipping. What got us into that next level was actually, you're just gonna chill out on the side. Okay, well, yeah, it wasn't solely drop shipping. It was incorporating a little bit of wholesaling in there. So by wholesaling, and now mind you, that wasn't in the training at that time. You know,
Yeah.
it was, that's what you say, take that step outside of the box. You know, like we always tell people, DSD is an awesome place to start, but it doesn't mean that that's where you have to end. You know, if there's something else that you want to do with your business,
Yeah.
yours, do what you want to do with it. You know,
Oh,
do
yeah.
what you want to do with it. So what we did was we followed the training, used the same aspects and training and points and all the rest of that stuff, and found a really, really cheap item. These items that we found were like 20 to 40 cents,
Wow.
if that. Most of them were like 20 cents.
Nice.
Found them, imported from China, and these things, what kind of got us hooked on it was, you know, these items were selling like hundreds and hundreds a day from Chinese suppliers. And you know, people buy them from China suppliers on eBay. It's going to take you like 2 months to get them. Sat back and thought, okay, what if I had those items here in the US? You know, Americans tend to pay for, you know, expedited shipping and whatnot and convenience. So yeah, let's try it. Ordered some, sold those things for like almost $9, you know, between 7, 9, even some of them went high as 12, $13. Sold them. And it was so crazy. We were like literally taking 40, 50 envelopes to the post office like daily, you know.
Nice.
And I mean, you're not talking about $40 profits. Yeah, everybody likes to see $100 profits, $200 profits. Oh, I made $1,000 profit. Yeah, that's great. But I spent 20 cents on something and made $5. I'm happy with that.
Nice. That is nice, especially if you're shipping out 50 a day. 20, 50, somewhere off in there. So what was your biggest breakthrough on Amazon?
Whoo. Frozen. Frozen.
Okay.
Disney Frozen. Um, it was so bad. Like all the stores in Houston were like, the managers were calling me the Frozen lady. Um, but I mean, that's what it was. I mean, I would literally, I'm not kidding. I would sit, remember how I was telling you, you know, 10 to 12 hours a day, if that, but it's not true, you know, like traditional work. You're not just, you know, doing stuff for everybody else. I would sit at the computer and literally go like through like 10 or 12 different websites that I knew sold these different products. And I would
Wow.
update these websites. Like I would refresh them, you know, about 4 or 5 times a day to see if any new items had come out. And
Wow.
what that did for me was when I saw the new item come out, I could go check Amazon, see that that item was fresh on that other website, wasn't even on Amazon yet. So bam, I can transfer it over, make the listing, get the total monopoly on the sales until everybody else who slept on that product for another 2 months in some cases, and just continue to rack up sales on those particular items until, you know, the rest of the world figured out that, oh, Frozen makes a toddler bed? Yeah, been selling it for 2 months now. Where you been? You know, so that type of stuff. So I mean, that Frozen changed the entire game, changed the viewpoint on how, you know, we work the business on eBay and on Amazon. So Frozen would be the biggest breakthrough on Amazon that we've had.
Wow. Now, see, that was some ninja stuff. If nobody caught that, that was some ninja stuff. I mean, I would rather be sitting in front of my computer at my house, hitting refresh, than being in Iraq and listening to bombs in the background. I'm
Word.
just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm right there with you on that one.
Now, if you want to share, what's your favorite e-commerce platform? I know in DSD we talk about a couple different ones. What's your favorite one?
Amazon, hands down. I mean, eBay is nice. It's free money, you know. I mean, you really can't beat free money, but you cannot beat the complexity of Amazon, the amount of volume, transactions, traffic that you'll get on Amazon. It's like second to none, period. I mean, it's just a totally different playground. And yeah, parents are sitting here making faces at me, and I'm trying not to look at them. I'm gonna kick him out of the room.
Okay. We'll see if we can get you refocused so we can get him out the room. So what do you like most about DSD?
Woo, freedom. Okay.
Okay.
Freedom. probably the biggest thing that I love about DSD is that you don't have to recruit. We're not recruiters. We didn't join this business to bring other people into it. Now we do have a team, but
Yes.
it's weird because like the team came to us. You know, what other company can you go to where people actually come to you to want to join and sign up? You
Right.
know, and primarily that's because we're not profit sharing. You know, Parrish and I can make $1 million today, and my sponsor will never see a dime of it. You know, I mean, you really can't beat something like that.
Right.
That's part of the biggest. Whenever you're dealing with people who are interested or who may be interested, if I get that, is this a pyramid scheme comment one more time, and you have to sit back and explain to them, well, do you really know what a pyramid scheme is? You know, or is that just something that you've heard, you know, over and
Yeah.
over on the TV or whatever? But no, once you look into it, you realize that no, our commission structure is nothing like a pyramid scheme. eBay account is 100% yours. Amazon account is 100% yours. Whatever you sell is 100% yours. You don't have to
Right.
tell anybody what you sell. So, it's a no-brainer. So that's the biggest, you know, sparkly diamond of DSD in my eyes is the non-recruiting.
All right. Okay. And so let me just ask you an off the cuff question. So DSD is now offering, well, they have been offering the IDP, which is the Instant Dominator package, and then also the all-in-one package. What do you think about those two packages?
Whoo. Okay. So I can't say enough about, okay, well, like I'll start with the all-in-one. If
Okay.
you got the all-in-one, you know, great. All right.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because everyone else who has all those products had to go buy them individually for the full
Right.
price. Well, if you got the all-in-one, you took advantage of that. If you went to the DSD event, then of course you get the ticket price knocked off. You know, if you already had one product, you get whatever you paid for that knocked off. So I mean, you could end up paying $1 for certain products at the end of the day. And you can't really beat that because the information is there. And
Right.
unlike other courses, the information is constantly updated. So if something gets outdated in the back office, all it takes is for one of the leadership members to go out there, cut a new video, and, you know, have it posted. So our webinars that we do every week. So, we have the pro webinars, pro and elite webinars every week,
Right.
and then we do the Genesis and Monopoly every other week, you know? So that's ongoing, that's constant. It's not like you're going to get the training and then that's the end of it. It's
Right.
always changing. It's always modifying. The groups are there to constantly let out current information. You know, if something happens on eBay or something happens on Amazon, we're able to address the entire group at one time in real time, you know, so that's a great thing. So the all-in-one, totally supported it. If you can afford it, by all means, grab it. Now, I mean, true to DSD form, nobody's going to force you to upgrade. So another thing that I like about the company is you're not constantly being hounded to upgrade. They're not constantly pushing the other programs down your throat. You know, the owners of the company will tell you point blank, if you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't upgrade until you can make enough profit in whatever, you know, platform you're on now. Don't upgrade until you make enough money in that particular platform to justify an upgrade. You know, because nobody's trying to get you more in debt. They're trying to get you out of debt, you know, and get you, you know, to have all these different income flows running. So that's my second favorite part of DSD is no one's pushing additional products down your throat. Now we'll tell you about them, but nobody's going to push them down your throat. Will you quit giggling at me? He keeps giggling at me. But the IDP package, that was probably one of my favorite ones now. Like, and the thing is, if you're going to be in pro is meant for a learning period. Pro is meant for you to get your feet wet, to get adjusted, to get acclimated to the eBay process, the drop shipping process. Once you do that, guys, pro is $19.95. Okay, that's not really going to break too many people's pockets, considering I can almost guarantee we all waste $20 pretty much probably a week. Yeah, ice cream. We just had ice cream. Well, my ice cream is only $7, so don't go there. But but yeah, you know, so if your pro is that, and then once you got that down, you know how to drop ship, you know how to interact with customers, you know how to find products. You've gotten past that, oh, I'm scared to list anything. Then you go to Elite. Okay, the Elite, if it's $99 per month, if you want to keep all of your tools and everything, then you keep your pro. Now you're at basically $120 a month. All right.
No.
And that's for pro and elite. Now, what about, if you want to be an affiliate? What if you've built a team so far? That's another $9.99 per month. Okay. Supremacy. If once you've mastered the art of eBay, the art of drop shipping on eBay, Supremacy comes in there to throw another punch at you to help your business just that much further. So that's another $50. All right. So if you could, negate paying all of those individually and just pay that $149, why wouldn't you? Yeah. And on top of that, when you get the IDP, they throw in that auto fulfillment, Yeah. So in your regular pro, you're going to get your plain listing builder and stuff like that, your listing and tracking management. But that extra goodie that you get with IDP is that order fulfillment.
Right.
At this point, you don't even have to log into eBay.
Right.
It doesn't get any better than that. You don't even have to log into eBay anymore. You can list, you can have all of your items ordered directly through the back office. You don't even have to go to Amazon and, create your shipments anymore or your orders anymore.
Right.
It's all done for you. So IDP, once you get out of that learning stage, and if you have a team, it's a no-brainer. That's where you need to be.
Right. And the one great thing I just want to piggyback off of what you were saying was that with the IDP, for those newbies, you may, when you talked about the number of hours you invested in the business initially when you're starting off, because again, what we have now and what we had way back in 2013, beginning of 2014 is completely different. So the number of hours that you'll spend in the business are cut significantly with these new products that are out there. So just piggybacking off of that, if you're interested, click on the link below. Just thought I'd share that. Okay, so moving on. So what advice would you give a newbie? 3 do's and 3 don'ts that you would give a newbie for their in this business. Just 3 that come off the top of your head that you're like, do these 3 things, don't do these 3 things. What comes to mind?
Okay, so I'll start with the do. Okay, so the do number 1, do go through the training. Okay, that is probably the biggest thing that I can say. Too many people sign up for DS Domination and just completely ignore the fact that you signed up for a training program. They go straight into trying to list, and then things happen because they weren't prepared, they weren't trained.
Right.
So go through the training.
Right.
My second do is list something. Don't just go through the training and not use it. That kills me to have anybody buy a program, a training, buy anything. You would never buy a car and not use it. And the thing is, the DS Domination business could be worth 10 times that car. So why wouldn't you use it? You're holding yourself back. So the quicker you get in there, go through the training and start to list, the more comfortable you're going to be, the more fluent you're going to be, and the more successful you're going to be. Don't procrastinate. Jump in there and just get down with it. All right. My third do would be active in the Facebook groups. There's so much information out there for you. And, you could get all of your questions answered. Don't just wait on your sponsor to answer your questions. Yeah. It's not worth it, don't get me wrong. Your sponsor is there. They brought you into the business. They, should be, somewhat accessible to you. But at the same time, remember, your sponsor brought you into a business that they are also working themselves. So they may not always be able to be at your beck and call. Okay. And that's just life, we are sponsors as well. We have a team, and we do our absolute best to get with all of our members as quickly as we can. But guys, we all have lives. Everybody has lives. Everyone's life does not revolve around their team members on DSD, so you have to be a little self-reliant and use the information that's out there. Okay. So just don't give up on the entire company because your sponsor didn't email you back in 2 hours or answer your phone call within 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Be proactive, help them help you. I can almost guarantee you pretty much the majority of the information out there is in the group already, in the previous live webinars, because all of our previous webinars are all online. You know, nothing's hidden from you. It's all out there, you know, at your fingertips. All right.
Correct.
So those are my do's.
Can I add one more do to that?
Hey, add it.
So you said your answers are probably in the Facebook group. The other thing is, the great thing about DSD is the training does not go stale, meaning they try to keep the training up to date and fresh. So sometimes your answer is in the latest training video. So just putting that out there. But go ahead.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so my don'ts. Don't be negative. Okay. Don't be negative. All right. Nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy. I don't care if you got a bad review, a bad feedback. I don't care if somebody returns something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is business. So what? Think about how many items are returned to Walmart on a daily basis.
They always have a line in the front.
Right. Okay.
They always have a line in the front.
And those are the people that go inside the store. What about everybody that's returning them online? You know, it's gonna happen. I mean, think about it. Have you ever made a return yourself? Probably. All right. So why is it any different when somebody who bought something from you makes a return? It's gonna happen. It's not the end of the world. Whatever. Okay. If you get a negative review, you know, do what you can to get rid of it. But you know what? The best way to get rid of negative feedback is to just sell more.
Right.
Sell more. It's not the end of the world. I've got negative feedback. So what? Just sell some more. It doesn't make a difference. All right. My second don't would be don't not share this. Is that a good one? Don't not share this. I don't even know that makes sense, but don't not share this opportunity. Okay.
Right.
Go out there and share it. You don't know, who needs this at any given point in time. I don't know what we would be doing right now if I didn't see a post on my friend's page. I have really no idea. We would probably still be overseas. I mean, there's no telling. There's absolutely no telling. And I don't even want to think about where we would be if, we never found the company. So you never know who's looking for it. Now, mind you, you may not bring in 100 people, but what if that 1 or 2 people that you bring in, or even more that you bring in, that you change their lives? You present something to them that they are willing to, or ready and willing to receive, to actually take action on and change their situation. So, and that's what you have at your fingertips right now. My third one would be, don't just stay still. Don't get complacent. If you're comfortable in pro and you're doing well in pro, don't just stay there. There's other platforms for a reason, because pro is there to get you started. Once you master that, don't just sit there. That'd be like going to, I'm just going to use like McDonald's, for instance. That's like having a job at McDonald's and you just so content with mopping the floor that you never want to start making fries. What are they doing coming to America? They went from the trash to the mopping the floor to the fries and stuff like that.
Eddie Murphy.
They didn't make it to fries, but that Louis Anderson guy, the Louis Anderson guy at the cash register was like, last week I was on fries.
Yeah.
Okay. Have some ambition. Don't just stay there at one spot.
That's a great movie analogy.
Okay. All right. So don't be content with taking the trash out at McDonald's. You know what? Own the joint. Own 2 or 3 of them. All right. So don't get complacent. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And I agree with number 2 for sure. I mean, I agree with all 3 of those don'ts. Number 2 for sure. You just never know when you might bless somebody with this opportunity. You never know what they're going through at that time and how this could change their life. Even if they earn an extra $100 a month, $200, $500, $1,000, that could change a person's life. That could change a family's life, and it could change their situation, whatever they're going through. So just putting it out there. I agree with her 100%. Okay. And then, so my question was going to be, but I already got your answer sort of. How do you feel about sharing the business with others, i.e. recruiting? How do you feel about sharing?
Like I said, I'm not a real big recruiter. Parrish's not a big, he's probably more of a recruiter than I am. We just happen to get the team by posting our results. So we're not one of those in-your-face couples where we're going to go door to door. We're not going to plaster stuff all over the place. That's just not how we operate. because we actually do the business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our primary focus in DS Domination is not recruiting on our side. We're not knocking it. Don't get me wrong. If you're a recruiter, more power to you. Okay. Our strong point within this business is actually doing the business. So that's actually selling on eBay, selling on Amazon. So we get a kick out of showing others how to change their situations. Like you said, one of our big things that we do is, shopping for profit. So we like to take people out, show them how you could literally go shopping and come out of there on top, instead of going to the store and coming out, with your head down because, oh, I shouldn't have bought that purse.
I'm about to take it back.
I got to take Don't take the tag off of that jacket. It's going back next week. No, none of that. Okay. This way you can actually go in there, come out of the store with like 2-3 carts full of stuff and not feel bad about it, because you know for a fact that that is going to triple, quadruple, whatever ruple, okay, and turn into crazy profits. And that's what we like to show people. And for instance, on our Facebook page, our last huge set of inventory got 12,000 items, and they were all in price ranges from 5 cents to 7 cents. Okay.
Woo!
I mean,
I just want to come to your house and just stay for like a month and just absorb all the stuff that you do, and then come back home and do those things. I'm just saying, if y'all could just make some room, I'll be there. I just want to
come
move
on
in.
Down. Got boxes all in the living room that need to be unpacked. Come on down.
Oh my goodness. I have not found those 2 cent, 12 cent, 10 cent items that make me $10, $15 yet. I found some that make me a lot of money, but I haven't found that percentage yet. So
it's coming.
It's coming. And so my last question for you is, if you feel comfortable sharing, what are your plans or your goals in this business in the next 6 months to a year? I know that you and your husband, you have a partnership in this business. Now, you started off by yourself and he came along. And so the two of you are like a team, a wonderful team, the Shipping Samurai and the FBA Ninja. So what are your plans for the next and goals for the next 6 months to a year for the two of you collectively, or maybe for you as an individual?
So for the next 6 months, our big focus is going to be Q4. So we're actually focusing on that right now.
Okay.
So that's what all this huge inventory pushes and things like that. So we're actually trying to get that moving early so that we can just take a break towards the end of the year, maybe actually finally take a honeymoon, hint, hint, because we have yet to take one because we've constantly been working, and so our idea is to get everything in there now, get everything moving so that we don't have to work that hard later on in the year. That's probably another great thing about DSD. That's like my tagline. Another great thing about DSD,
Yeah.
You can plan this stuff in advance when it comes to e-commerce, because it's just there, especially using sites like Amazon where you don't have to hold your own inventory. You can send it right to them and let them do whatever they're going to do with it. Let them sell it. Let them, ship to the customer. Let them deal with customer returns and all the rest of that stuff, and just get the check every 2 weeks. You can't really beat that. So that's probably our biggest in the next 6 months. In the next year, we have a whole list of private label items that we really need to make a bigger dent into.
Okay.
We actually got a sample in the mail about 2 or 3 days ago, and it's awesome, so we're going to start working on that one again. We've got 17 of them right now. So, I mean, guys, we do every aspect of this business, from eBay to private labeling to shipping from our house, to the customer. We do, we do FBA. We do, just across the board. We just attack every single piece of it. So, we're going to be busy. All right. But in the long term, even if I were to go past a year, we don't really want to do this forever, but we do want to have the business working for us forever. So that's what we're starting now. We're laying the foundation so that we can have our full company just up and running, and we can just sit back and just run it.
Right. Does he want to add something? Did he want to say something too? Did he want to add something to that 1 year plan?
No.
No, she said no. Okay. All right then. Well, I mean, those are the majority of my questions. And I am so glad I had the opportunity to talk with you, to interview you, to ask you the questions. There's a lot more that I have, but I can't ask them. So maybe if I come to your house, but we can talk about them. So what if you had any kind of, I guess, closing points that you want to share with people? Anything either about DSD, about eBay, about Amazon? And just so everyone knows, there are multiple ways to make money in e-commerce, not just eBay and Amazon, but within eBay and Amazon. Like she said, on eBay, you can do wholesaling, you can do selling things out of your house. You could do, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. And then on Amazon, you can have your private labeling, you can send stuff in the FBA. You can fulfill the orders yourself, which is called merchant fulfilled. You can go and shop for profits. I mean, there's just so many different moving pieces to this business. And whichever your niche is, once you find that niche, definitely, master that niche and then take on a new challenge, because, that's where the money's going to be. And like she said, she wants to get to the point where, her business is pretty much running on autopilot and they can go take, I don't know, a year-long honeymoon maybe. So there you go. So what closing points would you like to share with the audience or tell the audience?
For anybody who's not in the business yet, why? Click the button, join. There's nothing to be scared about, nothing to be nervous about. This is something that you can actually get started tonight.
Yes.
You can actually have your family members join, not necessarily join under you or anything like that. I mean, you can, but you can get your kids, moving, your spouse, your parents, aunts,
Yes.
uncles, neighbors, any of that stuff, get them involved so that you can all, share, this opportunity with everyone. If you are in the business and if you're not doing anything, why? Once again, why? There's too much in front of you. There's too much at your fingertips that you are just letting run right by. Don't be scared. A lot of the comments and questions that I get on Facebook are, I don't know how to start. I'm nervous. I'm this, I'm that. Look, what we tell our teammates whenever we sign somebody up that very first day, hey, when you sign up, I want you to list something tonight. I don't care if it's wrong, right? I don't care. List something tonight. You want to get that experience under your belt, because the longer you wait, the easier it is going to be for you just not to do it. Okay. Right. But remember that analogy that we made before. Think of DSD as a car. If you go buy a car, you are not going to let it sit in your driveway. You're going to drive that bad boy all over the place. Okay. Yeah. You're going to drive it all over the place. DSD is potentially worth more to you than that vehicle. I'm not kidding.
It may be worth more to you than your house. It may be worth more to you than your house, your vehicle, and your retirement account. I'm just saying.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
You're not going to let that stuff just sit there. So why are you going to let this just sit here? So, okay, if you have it, use it. You have it, use it. It's just literally that simple. All right. If you haven't joined, sign up, get started. It's that simple. All right. If you have joined and you're not making any progress, if you're not doing the business, if you're not working the business, slap yourself and get moving. Okay. Yeah. It's that simple.
Well, I think, she said it, the points that she made, you do need to get started. If you want to join the business, definitely click the link below, because there's a lot of opportunity right now. I refer to as right now the wave. And this is your opportunity to get in front of the wave, because you want the wave to push you all the way to shore. And I refer to the water of the wave as dollars. You want all those dollars to come on shore with you. So, get started now, and you will not believe what will happen to you in November, December, January, and even into February if you get started and you get focused. For those of you that joined and you haven't done anything with the business, she's telling you the truth. I mean, if you did not see her check, she walked across the DSD stage, $237,000. You don't make that just listing one thing a day. You just don't. Or 2 things a day, or 5 things a week. It just does not happen. You've got to get going. You got to get started. You got to put a couple of hours into your business. And the good thing is you can't use the excuse, oh, it takes too much time. DSD is just cut all of your listing time and your fulfillment time in half by the products that they've offered. So you can't use that excuse either. In any case, I'm so glad I had the opportunity to talk to you, Nikki. I can't wait to see you again. I didn't know if Parrish wanted to share anything with the audience. No? Okay, fine. And I thank you for letting me interview you tonight and for taking time out of your busy schedule. I thank everybody else for watching. And again, click the link below. DSD is awesome. The e-commerce business is awesome. The potential of what you can make, the numbers can be completely awesome for you if you invest the time and you're focused and you're dedicated and you're consistent about it. All right, well, that's all I've got tonight. And hopefully we'll have another interview in a couple of weeks. We don't know who yet, but we'll work through that. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in next week's Hangout.
Bye.
Good night.